Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Iris and on my channel I talk about relationships, spiritual awakening, consciousness, and of course self-love. And today I want to talk to you about having a happy human experience. Sometimes in our life it seems like things move at lightning speed. Sometimes it seems like they come to a grinding halt and we're tortured in essence of which way do we go. So I like to look at life and creating a happy human experience from the perspective of the story of the tortoise and the hare. So sometimes, your life seems to, things happen all at once and life seems to take you forward at lightning speed. Sometimes we like the lightning speed, sometimes we don't like the lightning speed, and then sometimes it kind of slows down. Now, the problem is that when it slows down, we can become stuck. And that is where we start to have that experience of being uncomfortable in our lives and we're not enjoying that human experience. Sometimes when life slows down, we kind of coast for a while and then until the next good thing comes along or the next right step for us comes along. So really, when you think about the human experiences and our level of happiness, really it truly is a balancing act, and it requires us to wear our life and our experiences really like a throw over our shoulders, because life is always moving, it's always changing. There's so much uncertainty, and yet we can create a level of certainty in our lives. So I want to offer some suggestions for how you can create more of this happy human experience, regardless where you are in your journey. So number one is that we might not have an awareness of this specifically, but we are always having relationships with other people, relationships in terms of coworkers, bosses, love relationships, family relationships, relationships with our friends. And at any point in time, there could be feathers ruffled and things go out of sync. And you've probably had this experience where life is flowing along beautifully for a while, and then all of a sudden you look back and you go, what happened? Like things used to just be smooth and flowing, and now all of a sudden nothing is seeming to work out, nothing is seeming to flow. The reason for that is because that is either you or the other person, in most cases both of you, in that whatever that relationship is, there's a shift in the energy and things are about to change. And that's the way life is. So part of it is recognizing that we are having these interpersonal relationships all over the place. It could be, your landlord or anything. You just look at it from that perspective of everything that you're doing is having an interpersonal relationship with other people, and the energy is always moving and invoking change. So when you come at it from that perspective and you have that level of awareness, there isn't so much of an attachment to that situation and that relationship or that partnership or whatever happens to be going on in that state. So that's the offering number one, is just recognize that everything is about relationships and the energy that's moving between you. Number two has more to do with if you're stuck in a holding pattern where you've been the tortoise and the tortoise has come now to a grinding halt. There's not even any forward movement. So this offering is for you, and you might not like it. I didn't like it for myself, but it is very helpful. Is radical acceptance of where you're at and what is going on. So oftentimes when we find ourselves in this stuck place, we are searching for a way out. We have essentially set up camp in a very low vibration, and we can't seem to see a way out, right? So the first step to do is go, okay, this is where I'm at. It is, I have no idea what to do next. I have no idea what direction to turn to. Um, and I am where I am. Oftentimes, we don't even take the time to acknowledge we're in that situation, in that stuck place. We communicate it and we say, I'm stuck and I can't do this and I can't do that, and that's not going to work, right? So we shut down all of those possibilities and opportunities that people might be presenting to us. But when we step back and we actually feel into that space and go, yeah, I'm here and this really sucks. And then we start to ask the question, how do I get out of here? How do I start to move that, right? So our logical mind, based on all of the experiences we ever had, is not going to be able to think our way out of this. We might have some ideas, but by being stuck in that place where we're feeling stuck, we're actually getting something from staying in that stuck place. So for example, if you are stuck in a job that you hate, consider and ask yourself, what is it about this situation that is on some level giving me safety, security, maybe feeling some type of a connection with something or someone within that job, even if you don't like it. There's something that you are getting from being in that situation, in that work environment. And you can apply the same concept to any situation that you feel stuck in. If you are in a relationship that you are very unsatisfied and very unhappy in and want to leave, but don't leave and keep on going around in the same cycle with that person, ask yourself, what is it that I'm getting from staying in this relationship? What is it? Because there is something, right? And so once you can kind of step back, have a look at, okay, this is where I'm at and what am I getting from being in that situation, you might see a shift in perspective. And this is thought provoking. This is a little bit of deep inner work, but in order for us to move through whatever we're experiencing, we do have to do a little bit of work and look within ourselves to what is helping to keep this situation the way it is. Okay. The next thing I want to offer you is to trust your intuition. And most people aren't even really aware that they're not listening to their intuition. We do a lot of talking to other people for validation and confirmation of choices and decisions that we want to make for ourselves, that we feel are right for ourselves. That's not to say that you can't go and get some information from other people, get their perspective on the situation, but at the end of the day, nobody knows what's right for you. I don't know what's right for you. If you were to come and work with me one-on-one, I would not know what's right for you. I can guide you to your own answers, and that's where all of the answers lie. But oftentimes we aren't even open to hearing what our own truth is and what our own answers lie within us. So here's how to help with that. Okay, it goes kind of hand in hand with that radical acceptance of where you're at, right? And stepping out of your thinking mind that created the same situation, and actually just taking a step back and just let that situation be there, and just sit back and just ask the universe, ask your spirit guides, ask God, what do I need to do next? Where do I go from here? What's next for me? And then just sit and listen. Turn off your phone, turn off the TV, turn off YouTube, turn off distractions, and just sit and listen. Like this. Just listen. So you might not get any answers right away, and that's okay, because for a lot of people, this is something new. This is really new, this concept of just silencing and just listen. This isn't even meditation. this is just silence. And a lot of people are really uncomfortable with silence. But once you get the hang of this and you let go of all of the distractions, you'll start to hear yourself, and you'll hear your own inner guidance forward. Okay, so those are some offerings and suggestions. I'm just kind of looking down and making sure that I've covered all of the suggestions, right? And one thing that I have written down here that I do want to talk about, because I thought it was really funny as it relates to the tortoise and the hare. Sometimes, as I said, life moves at a slow pace, and we're just kind of coasting, and everything is good. And then all of a sudden, something happens, and we're like a slingshot, and then things move us forward really, really quickly off on a new direction. And then we settle in and we acclimate to that new environment. We get comfortable in that new situation. It kind of kicks up some dust. We become uncomfortable, and then we get used to that new environment, that new situation, that new relationship, whatever it happens to be. And then things are coasting along, and so goes the cycle of life. So my encouragement for you as I wrap up this video is, don't be so hard on yourself. Don't struggle to look for the answers outside of yourself. Have an awareness of what is happening around you. Understand that we have all of these different interpersonal relationships. Each of us are on our own life path, on our own journey. We can't save anybody. They can't save us. We have our own answers. They have their own answers. When things fall out of flow, and flow is that state where you go, this is good. This is good. I like this. Things are moving along nicely, right? So when things fall out of that flow, be okay with the change that is coming. Do your best to keep yourself grounded. Listen quiet. Listen for your next right move. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable with not knowing every step in your journey. So I hope this I hope this message has been helpful for you. Leave a comment below this video. Let me know what is going on in your world. If you have been stuck in that stuck place for a long time, whether it has to do with relationship or something interpersonal that you have been having struggles with, I will leave a link below on how to reach me. I offer complimentary consultations, and through those consultations, I actually give you a different perspective on how you can look at your situation that will invoke a different way of looking at it and hopefully move you forward. And then if you want, we can go together and start doing some work one-on-one, but that's a conversation for a completely other time. So that's it for now. I am wishing you so much love, so much happiness in your human experience, whether you are currently the tortoise or if you are the hare. And until I see you on the next video, take good care. Bye.